I promise I really do own clothes that aren't black sweaters with cold shoulders. I just somehow never seem to wear anything else when I film. Anyway, I'm back with another review because I was very lucky to be approved for a proof copy of one of my most anticipated releases of this year, and it's just all around one of the most beautiful books I've ever seen. And I'm talking about Strange the Dreamer by Miss Laini Taylor. Look at this beauty. Can we take a moment? Honestly, if I could marry a book cover, I'd be at the altar right now. Honestly, much like with Laini Taylor's other series, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, I feel like even though I've read this and I spent so much time in this world, I couldn't give you a proper summary of what it's about, especially without spoiling the plot. I feel like it's best to go into the story not knowing much about it. However, I really do like what the back of the book tells you, and I feel like it's just a great thing to think about when you go into the story, and I just find it very captivating. And it says that this is the story of a mysterious city stripped of its name, a mythic hero with blood on his hands, a young librarian with a singular dream, and a blue-skinned goddess every bit as perilous as she is imperiled. Welcome to Weep. Doesn't that just make you want to know what the story is about? Because honestly, it really did make me hella curious, and I couldn't wait to read it and see who is who and what this is all about and what's with this city. And oh boy, I'm in love with this book. I honestly spent a few days reading it, which usually just drives me crazy. I hate reading books slowly because I don't know, that just happens. However, I felt like I just didn't want to ever finish this one, and I would honestly just put the book down to make the whole reading process finish slowlier, because I wanted to spend more time engulfed into this wonderful world. If I were to use one word and one word alone to describe the book, it would be whimsical. I feel like this seems to be a theme through Laini's writing, and I just find it very beautiful. The writing itself just felt, I don't even know how to describe it. I felt like I wanted every single word of this book to be engraved on my heart. I don't know how that would be possible. If I found a way, I would honestly do it, because it was just so beautiful and so kind of poetic. It was just wonderful. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Also, I seem to notice a few recurring themes through Laini's books. I can't help but sort of compare and contrast with Daughter of Smoke and Bone, because I adored that book and I adored this one, but I feel like they're on completely different levels. If Daughter of Smoke and Bone is my morning coffee, and you should know that I really do love my morning coffee and I take my morning coffee very seriously, then Strange the Dreamer would be the soothing cup of tea that I always have at night, especially if I need to feel relaxed. I find no better way to put it. Anyway, back to the common elements. Obviously, there is the theme of blue, which, how on brand if in Daughter of Smoke and Bone our protagonist Karoo has blue hair. I know. Then in Strange the Dreamer we have some blue skin, you know, also very aesthetically pleasing. I was very interested to see what that was about. I was just very attracted. I don't know. I have a fascination with the color blue. I have an attraction to anything that is blue, particularly this beautiful shade of blue that Strange the Dreamer is. So I was just very interested and very curious. Also, a common element that Laini's works share is this archetype of the orphan, and you know, that's kind of there in There of Smoke and Bone, and that's there in this. And it's not, I don't even know how to describe it. It's not that they don't have some parental figures. It's just this overwhelming need to belong to something. And I feel like even if you yourself aren't part of that social category, you can still relate to these characters and how raw their desire to be part of something is. And it always just tugs at my heartstrings. And yeah, it's just so beautiful. I feel like all of Lainey's worlds have this just quirk about them. It's just all very whimsical. It's all very ethereal. This was also extremely atmospheric, and I feel like I myself, though I'm usually kind of over descriptions after like one paragraph, was just captivated by all these rich descriptions of Weep and why the city is supposed to be the greatest and why our protagonist is fascinated with the idea of it. And I was so into this world that it was just very bitter that my limited imagination couldn't picture it in a way that it would do it justice. That's sort of how I felt throughout it. I know. Also, the dialogue feels very kind of bantery, very real. There are so many funny dialogue parts, and I was very much here for that. I always love seeing that kind of stuff. Also, two of the major themes that come into play in the book are stories and dreams, and just knowing that I'm here for any book that revolves around those two elements and their power in shaping worlds and lives, and I was just so into it. Laszlo Strange is just my precious child. I would honestly give my life to protect him. I'm in love with him. He's so pure. He's so precious. The world does not deserve him. I can't even... Who is that pure and precious and innocent and lovable? I feel like I also need to mention that this isn't incredibly plot-driven, as for instance Leigh Bardugo's Six of Crows, because it does feel kind of stagnant for a large part of it. Not that much happens in terms of events, but I personally did not mind because, again, we have wonderful characters driving the story forward. We have this incredible setting and all the descriptions, and it just felt like a very good pacing as far as I was concerned. So I don't know, if that's not your cup of tea, maybe do try avoiding it. Now, in terms of diversity in the book, we have a lot of brown-skinned people. It's not very specific. Personally, I feel like they could be from the Middle East or North Africa or something. I could be wrong because there is not much to go off on in guessing that, so I don't know, but yeah, there's that. And also there's one female relationship, and I feel like that's about it. Oh, and there is one disabled character. So yeah, there's that. Hope there will be more into it in the future book, because this is the first in a duology as far as I know. I feel like that's correct. I could be wrong. Anyway, I just really love the book and I would definitely recommend it. It comes out on March 28th and you should definitely check it out once it does. And if you do, please do let me know, because I would love to talk to you about this wonderful, wonderful piece of literature. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you guys later. Bye!